So Trent, yet another question.
Yes.
People want to know about chakras in a little bit more detail.
Great. Chakras are energy centers that are in our bodies, and they're basically contained up and down your spine. And what a chakra it's an energy center, so it's a place where you can open up additional energy. And depending on how you've learned about chakras, there's different systems that talk about them in different ways. So usually in America, we have what's called the 7 chakra system and 7 energy centers. And if you train in different places with different instructors, there are chakra systems that involve 10 chakras. There are chakras systems that involve 13 chakras. There is a chakra system that involves 100 chakras. There's also a chakra system that involves 1,000 chakras. So it depends on where you've studied it and who you've studied it with. But for Americans, the 7 chakras consist of what's called your root center, which is at the very base of your spine. Sits in your coccyx. And then you have your second chakra, your sexual center, which is located in the pelvis. You have your third chakra, which is your power center, which is located in the abdominal area. You have your heart center, which is located in your heart area. And you have your throat chakra, which has to do with communication and the energy involved in communication. And then you have what's called your third eye, which is located between your eyebrows and just above your eyebrows and in about 1.5 inches into the skull. And then you have what's called your crown chakra, which is basically exists above your head, just at the top of your head. And these different chakras, basically they reflect different, they're not only metaphors for different parts of yourself, but they're actual energy centers. So the crown chakra has to do with your connection to the divine, or you could say heaven. Your third eye has to do with being able to have spiritual insight or your spiritual vision, the ability to see other places, other times. And then you have your throat chakra, has to do with communication. Your heart center has to do with how you feel, so it has to do with feeling passion or feeling love. And then you have your power center, has to do with your own personal power and awakening your own personal power. And sexuality, or second chakra, has to do with awakening the experience of your sexuality, which doesn't have anything actually to do with sex, but it has to do with feeling alive and feeling dancey in life, feeling that you're experiencing life as a dance. And then your root chakra has to do with feeling grounded in life and feeling connected to the earth, so that you are grounded as an individual. So that's what the chakra systems in America are.
How would one open up these chakras or unblock them, or whatever it is, the terminology that people use?
If you have blockages in your chakras, you're going to experience, and how to find out if you have blockages in your chakras is you're going to experience a problem in the areas that I mentioned before. So if you take those 7 areas, those 7 chakras, if you have a problem in one of those areas, you know that you probably have a blockage in a particular chakra. So the chakras, people say that there's 7 of them, but even in the 7 system, there's actually 14 of them, because they have a front and a back. So you have a front chakra that's in the front of the spine, and you also have a chakra that's in an equal position but is located in the back of the spine, or in the skull. So even there, even though we talk about 7 chakras, there's actually 14, and which direction they open and how they spin, because the energy of them spins, has to do with how much flow you're going to experience, or how much aliveness or rejuvenation you're going to experience in those particular areas in your life. So you can look at the chakras, you can look at symptoms that you have, you can look at problems that you have in your life, or if you want to experience more awakening in those areas of your life, you can use those as entry points into different doorways into different experiences that you'll have. So they can become a whole healing system in and of themselves.
So, by opening up or unblocking a person's chakra, if they were having trouble in that area, might help heal that particular issue, or it could or might need something more?
The opening of a chakra is going to allow you to feel the health, and another way to say that is the movement of that particular area in your life waking up. So there are systems that you can use to open those up, like infinite body work is a good system for awakening a chakra, and infinite breathing is a conscious connected breathing technique that helps you open up your chakras. And so those are good ways to open up the chakras through body work and breath work. And Infinite Healing, my company Infinite Healing, offers great techniques that way. So those are good ways to awaken the chakras.
We also had another question about the Kundalini energy.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that now or save that for another time?
No, now's a good time to talk about that. Kundalini is an energy that has to do with an awakening. Basically, what it usually happens is it's an awakening of the 7 chakras simultaneously. And it begins at the base of the spine, and they usually call the Kundalini as like a coiled snake, is what they refer to it as in yoga in the East. And so Kundalini it's a strong awakening of energy throughout the spine. And there are some people who practice spirituality and they practice different spiritual practices, and they wonder if it's safe to have an experience like that. Kundalini energy a lot of time gets a bad rap as far as experience, because people think that it has to do with sex, and it actually is not about sex at all. It's a very experiential awakening that makes you feel very alive in a lot of ways. And some people, when they get a lot of energy moving through their body, they interpret that as it's time to have sex. And it actually doesn't mean that. It means that you should learn how to channel that energy through your structure, and it's a preparational experience actually for very deep meditation and more spiritual awakening. So people who think that to awaken your Kundalini means that you're going to be having more sexual experience, that's a misinterpretation. So it's just more aliveness and more energy, but a full Kundalini awakening can be very powerful and very profound. And oftentimes people wonder which chakra is the best chakra to wake up. And usually, due to trauma, people will want to open the chakra that's actually not the one that they should be focused on. And it's because of blockages, and the ego tries to trick us into not opening the chakra that's necessary. So a really good fundamental idea for awakening chakras is to focus and start with the heart chakra. And my teachers that I've worked with have instructed me this way in Tibetan Buddhism, and one of my teachers was a Tibetan Buddhist, and made sense to me when you're talking chakras that if you awaken your heart, the rest of your body will always do good. There's a lot of people who want to open their third eye, or they want to open their mind. And if you do that before you open your heart, what happens is that you tend to become very scientific and very experimental, where you think that your mind usually wakes up thinking that you might damage things. So like a scientist, thinking you need to destroy something in order to understand it. If you open your heart, you awaken your compassion, you awaken your love of things. Everything else that follows that is going to be healthy. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds pretty intense. So if I want to know more, I'll just give you a call and we'll go to the next question.